It is a night of celebration from the home of champions, Ice in Paradise in Goleta. Not only home to the two-time LA Kings High School Hockey League champions, but now the 2017-2018 PCHA champions as the UCSB Gauchos return home from Lake Tahoe, having claimed their first ACHA championship and close out the season against a UC rival in the UCLA Bruins. Hi everybody, Eric Evelhoch with Kyle Nicolas here on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network. This is the Ice in Paradise pregame show, and Kyle, it is a night of celebration for the Gauchos and an opportunity for them to make up a game that they were unable to play earlier in the season.
It's good to see UCLA making it up here after seeing the number of health problems that they had to deal with early in the middle of January. So it's good to have them up here to kind of help grow this rivalry that's starting to bud between them and UC Santa Barbara. But again, the story tonight, this being a celebration game for ice hockey at UCSB, coming back, as you said, from Lake Tahoe with the big shiny piece of silverware, the Adams Cup, which we will see here later on this evening. The Gauchos coming away the 2017-2018 season champions.
There will be a full special pregame ceremony today. We'll also be honoring the two Gaucho seniors in Captain Justin Goldser, as well as assistant or alternate, depending on what you define the A as, Dimitri Piagai. The Gauchos finished the regular season 7-5-0 and 5-3-0 in league play. They face a UCLA side, Kyle, which has dealt with a load of injuries this season that, frankly, after a side last year that won 3 pieces of hardware, the Crosstown Cup for defeating USC in its season series, the LA Kings College Cup, as well as the Pac-8 Championship. This year, the Bruins currently sit at 7-7-1, 6-6-0 in Pac-12 play, and lost in the opening round to their rival Trojans 4-3 in the Pac-8 tournament.
It's been kind of an up and down season for UCLA, a sort of Jekyll and Hyde, if you will. This is a team that started its year extremely well, got some big results. This is a team that's absolutely smoked a team that the Gauchos saw earlier this year. Cal State Fullerton beat them 9-1 earlier on, but at this point, they're pretty starved for a win. They have not played since the Gauchos were supposed to meet them back on January 27th. They have not beaten their rival USC this season, and they have not won in 6 straight games. Only one of those losses actually coming in overtime, that being a few weeks ago against, I believe it was Cal Berkeley on that one. So this is a UCLA team that's coming to the end of its season as well, just like UCSB is going to be. And they're going to want to look to try to end this one on a positive note themselves, having so much trouble here in the second half of the year.
That win over Berkeley is impressive, though, because the Golden Bears made the Pac-8 championship game before losing to the ultimate champion Arizona State Sun Devils in that final. But the final that Gaucho fans care about is the PCHA final, in which the Gauchos were able to get revenge on Santa Clara University. You'll remember the Broncos came here to Ice in Paradise earlier in the season. Matter of fact, the first 2 games of the season, in which the Broncos took both the games against the Gauchos. UCSB did not make it easy, despite appearing to be in rather confident seating heading into the third period. But the Gauchos, after dispensing with Stanford in round 1, rival California Lutheran in overtime in round 2, in the final, a 4-goal lead in the third period almost wasn't enough against the Broncos.
And we talked about how talented that Broncos team is, playing really well organized defense, but for UCSB, just taking their foot off the gas at the start of the third period was all the Broncos really needed to seize it. The Gauchos at one point holding a 6-1 advantage in that game, and then letting it slip away to an onslaught of offensive pressure from Santa Clara. Almost not enough. Gauchos had to go to overtime. 10 minutes of 5-on-5 settled nothing. 10 minutes of 4-on-4 also settled nothing. Goes down to the 3-round shootout, and it is the stick of Cooper Spears that winds up being the magic that the Gauchos need. Skate away with that trophy that we will see here later on this evening. The first piece of silverware that this Gauchos team has taken in the Ice in Paradise era.
I asked Spears if his winning move was as nice as Jocelyn Lamoureux's was. He said, without a doubt, no, it wasn't.
Not even close.
Still the result, every bit as sweet for UCSB as the Gauchos close out the 2017-2018 season against the UCLA Bruins here on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network. Kyle, this is normally where we go with Kyle's Keys on the Ice in Paradise pregame show. Considering, though, the undermanned side that they're facing in UCLA, and that this is really, with both of these teams having completed their season and their postseason, more of a glorified exhibition, what do you still want to see from the Gauchos here tonight?
I think for the Gauchos, this is going to be just an instance where they can go out, really try to have some fun with it and kind of flex their muscle, show everything that they've learned. This is going to be an opportunity for Dimitri Pregame and Justin Goldzer to kind of really make their last stamp on the game, this being arguably their last games in a Gaucho uniform as seniors. So they're going to want to find a way to go out on top, and UCSB is going to want to send a positive message as they head off into what's going to feel like a fairly long summer break.
We turn it now to assistant coach Ben Brecker for our special pregame ceremony.
In the finals, the Gauchos played
A special night here in Goleta as UCSB celebrates the 2017-2018 PCHA Championship, and what a piece of silverware that is, Kyle. I just hope for the players' sake that doesn't end up at the bottom of the rec center swimming pool like a certain other silver chalice found its place at Mario Lemieux so many years ago.
Throwing a little bit of shade at the Pittsburgh Penguin champions of old. There's some very good stories, which I'm sure we'll probably be discussing at some point along the way of this broadcast for a rather legendary trophy in the NHL itself. A lot of history behind that trophy. The Gauchos looking to maybe build on a little bit of history of their own, and this season off with big win here in what you've accurately, I should say, described as more or less a glorified exhibition game, but still good to get one final puck drop in here.
Del bonus between Goldser and Strategos with May and Rupert on the blue line for the Gauchos. Will Hahn between the pipes. UCLA starting goalie Peter Katz and sending out defender Brandon Cho as well as Christian Tabone, number 10 for UCLA. Look out for him. He is their leading scorer on the season. Forward pressure from PJ Smigliani forces the turnover. Richard Zoe with the pass forward to Cho. Cho tries to drag through. Nice job dispossessing him by Del Bonus. Swung along by Goldser for Strategos. It's dug back in behind. This will be picked up there and wired off the glass to the line, not out by the captain on the second try. Cho's able to hold it in, but the Gauchos put it out to neutral ice. PJ Smigliani under fire from Strategos, drops it off at the line where it'll be shot in and around by Tabone. Gauchos go for their first change of the game as forward pressure from Cho forces the pass, and it's an area feed. Chance for a 2-on-1 here for the Gauchos. Played to the slot and just off the stick. Thrown in front. Save made by Katz as he shuts the door on Chris Owasiak.
Owasiak found himself all alone out in front with a lot of time. Just didn't make the right stick handling move. I don't think it was the one he wanted to make, but nonetheless, good aggressive goaltending from Katz to get out on top of the crease, cut down that angle, coming right off the hip, I should say, right off the hop of another great opportunity for what looks like Chris Cruz Holloway, not wearing his usual number 33 tonight, wearing the blue number 14 jersey.
Matthew Bodon muscling along the boards. Cruz Holloway tries to throw it in front. It's intercepted by Tabone, and he will carry the mail through neutral ice. Leading scorer for UCLA entering Pac 8 title play. He had 13 goals in their 14 games played. Here's a nice carry-in and a shot by Owasiak that is juggled off the chest protector and held by Katz.
Owasiak, who's such a critical part of that playoff run last weekend, showing that he is not letting up, even though this season is just about winding down. That is 2 partial break opportunities he's had within the first about a minute plus. We're not even 2 minutes into the game. He's had 2 golden opportunities.
Draw one. Piagai walking in, has a man across, tried to get it to him. Nice stick. Sent back to the line, and the net goes off the moorings as Matthew Bodon runs into it.
Looks like that was Eric Valois winding up on the back end. Gauchos with some good flurries here in the early going. Of course, they are significantly larger in number than this Bruins team. The Bruins coming out with what appears to just be 9 skaters, so it'll be a long night for them.
Valois across for Vieira. Vieira plays along the near side boards for Piagai, who angles it back behind. Herlihy throws it in front. Unable to get it home is Barone. It's sent to the line and gets through Vieira. Valois racing back is Latham Woino, pressuring forward for UCLA. Also forward pressure from Zoe there. Played in, Piagai touches it forward for Barone. Piagai, touch for Barone. Neither of them were ready for it. Just to angle it back in where Smigliani will play it forward for Show. Gathering speed and looking to get a backhander on. Instead, we'll have to play it back to the line. Tabone takes the hit from Piagai but moves it along. Feed in front looking for Show. Second chance try. This one deflected wide off the stick of Theo Habucha, the second leading scorer for UCLA, and the puck goes out of play with 16:58 to go in a scoreless first.
You mentioned second leading scorer Theo Habucha on the season, 9 goals and 5 assists. for 14 points in the limited number of games that this Bruins team has played. He's been one of the bright spots on the season, even when things haven't really been going right for the Bruins. Things between him and Tabone have just been cruising this season.
And it looks like Barone is coming off the ice for UCSB. Wonder what that's about.
Hopefully just an equipment repair. We see him back soon.
Angled in and ridden off by Tabone. Richard Zoe plays it up the middle. Show will touch it in. This one hits off the stick of Hahn and will have to be played back behind by Stephen Fleck. Maybe wondering why the Gauchos wearing their road blues in this game? Well, those are the uniforms that they won the PCHA Adams Cup in, as the shot from the line by Smigliani in on Hahn, offside.
It's nice to see the Gauchos play in these away blue uniforms here at Ice in Paradise a little more often. That might be a little bit on the bias side, but I think these are better looking than the white ones personally. I'd like to see them out a little bit more. Got a very nice classic, almost sort of old St. Louis Blues style to it.
It is indeed a sharp look. If I had my druthers and teams had different colors, we'd see color versus color, because
I agree with you on that.
Even here on YouTube, this is a high-def broadcast that we give you. Played to the far boards where Mingrone will chase it down. Takes a heavy hit, played to the line, kick back in by Show. Nice play, trying to get it for Tabone. The shot from the sharp angle. Hahn deflects it up and out of play. Oh no.
I believe that was off the crossbar. It definitely was out of play. I think it may have grazed the crossbar.
The reaction on that one from Baudin.
Looks like he may have been expecting that one to find its way in. He didn't miss by much. Again, I think it grazed the crossbar on its way out.
False draw there.
Barone looks like he's headed back around, so maybe just a little bit of a quick equipment repair for the Gaucho forward.
May dropped it behind his own net. Played forward and touched out to neutral ice. Attempted clear. Goltzer was almost in. 2-on-1. Nice job standing him up at the line by Theo Habucha. Habucha ridden off the puck. Played forward by May, and a heavy hit delivered by Christian Tabone. Goltzer now, though, steams in up the near boards. Pass across. Tabone with a great stick to break it up. Strategos cutting back post. Tabone throws it in on Hahn. May forced to play it back behind his own net. Valois curling with it away from forward pressure from Zoe. Speed through the neutral zone. Show, though, is back. The shot from a sharp angle. Score! Snapped home by Chris Owasiak, and the Gauchos lead it 1-0.
And it's a picture-perfect shot right for the low post. Maybe catching goaltender Peter Katz a little bit flat-footed, not expecting it, but he put it off the post and looked like it was off the back of the skate of the goaltender, and it just kind of trickled behind just barely enough over the line. And Owasiak's got another one on the season. You'd have to say, for a rookie campaign for the young freshman, just an absolutely sensational year for number 9 in blue and gold.
His 22 points during the regular season, second best on the side, behind only Colin Delbonis. The goal number 10 on the season for Owasiak. As Zoe wide for Woino. Woino to the high slot. Settled down. Played back behind. Sharp angle try from Zoe. Is deflected, and the Gauchos now have numbers again. Delbonis shoots, save made, slaps the rebound home. It was juggled by Katz, and Delbonis is there to lacrosse it in, and just like that, it's 2-0, seconds apart.
And this is something coaches teach you from a very young age. Follow your shots. This is exactly what Delbonis does. He comes in off the wing and he lets the shot go. You never know if that's going to pop up off the goaltender, which it did right off the chest protector of Katz. Bounced right in the air, and he didn't even wait for it to get to the ice. As you mentioned, Delbonis just kind of lacrosse shots it just in over the goal line, and Gauchos are up 2-0 just that quickly.
On the carry and snapshot, save made Katz. Rebound is cleared to the line but not out. Good look from Austin Trenner. One of the real gems this season for the Gauchos. A ruby from the rough, if you might say.
Or from Silicon Valley.
I wouldn't exactly say that's a rough area, perchance. Nice job gloving it down by Michael Wu. Able to play it forward for Richard Zoe. Zoe given a rough ride by Emmett Rupert, who staple guns him to the boards back behind. Weak backhander at the far post is sealed by Hahn.
Talked an awful lot about how these young Gauchos that have come in kind of grew up and more or less developed their talent through the Santa Barbara Royals program. That Royals program has won both of the LA Kings high school hockey titles to this point, the inaugural year and last year, and now they have an ACHA trophy to go with it. You have to think, those Royals players, they really don't know how to lose.
Giveaway across. Hahn makes a great save on Tabone. Rebound still sitting there. It's swept away from Baudin at the moment of truth. P-Guy can't get it out through Tabone, who will just saucer it back in behind. Valois, two-man come on, creates the turnover. Deflected back behind the net. Valois is going to take a penalty here and give UCLA the first power play of the game with 13-14 to go in the first period. Can never extend your arms like that, especially when the player is so far from the boards.
Players so far from the boards, and also looking at him right in the numbers was Eric Valois. Pretty much a textbook hitting from behind penalty, and the Gauchos off to a quick start getting themselves out in front, but it's not to say UCLA hasn't had their attacking opportunities. Every single player out there for the Bruins seems to be a talented player, a talented shooter. Quick shot off the draw, winds up in the glove of Hahn. But they've earned their opportunities, even though they have been a short bench team thus far. Gauchos want to be careful with this one.
It's officially in the books as boarding. And the first power play of the game, and the puck gets through the defenseman. Cutting across the slot. P-Guy, sharp angle shot, stick save made by Katz. Shaw will give it behind the net for Habucha.
How much do you think P-Guy's eyes lit up when he saw a little bit of daylight between him and the goalie?
Looking to add to that goal ledger for this season. Trying to pick up his second. Chance for a 2-on-1 again. P-Guy is the off man. Barone gives it to him. P-Guy stoned by Katz.
Katz read that one all the way, got right out to a perfect spot. Excellent goaltending.
And now the area feed finds Christian Tabone, but UCSB able to saucer it back down. UCSB has killed the first 55 seconds of the initial power play of the game for UCLA. Goals by Awasiuk and Delbonis. How many times have we heard that? The difference in the game for the Gauchos. Show up the near boards. Gives it back for Tabone. So, pass to the slot. Hesitating and tuning it up too high. Zoe.
Putting his stick up in the air. I don't know why. It's not football. That was up over the goal post for a field goal, really.
He hit the netting, just not the netting he thought he did.
Not the netting he was aiming for.
Draw one by UCSB and played forward. Carry in, all alone. Swept back out in front, save made by Katz. Great job by Evelhoch creating the chance, and he draws a slash.
Just a good burst of speed from Michael Evelhoch. We've seen that on several occasions this season. Very useful player, especially in situations like this on the penalty kill. Coach Hires recognizing that this defense for UCLA has left a few gaps in back, throwing some good quick players out there. Someone like Evelhoch gets himself on that partial breakaway and draws the even up penalty. The Gauchos will get their power play of their own here in about 30 seconds.
Habucha guilty of the slash for UCLA as Smigliani able to fight it through neutral ice, fight it through Awasiuk, and into the Gaucho end where Rupert retrieves. Takes a big hit, but it's moved along for Awasiuk. Area feed wide to no one in particular, taken by Tabone. UCLA won the meeting between these two teams last year, 6-3 at Pickwick Ice in Burbank. Gauchos back to even strength, and Emmett Rupert looked like he was headhunting with that hit. Not necessarily headhunting, but he had Matthew Baudin lined up from about the time he was leaving the defensive zone, that's textbook charging.
And I think that completes the year for the Gaucho freshman. I believe he has had a penalty in every single game this season officially.
Certainly every single one that we've called.
Still waiting on the official score sheets from the playoff tournament. But if the reputation precedes him, I believe that will complete the year of having at least a pair in the sin bin for every single time the Gauchos have hit the ice.
35 seconds of power play time for the Gauchos goes by the wayside. And now we're back to 4-on-4. 2-2 come the Gauchos. Through Show. Hurley walks it in, backhands it. Katz makes the save. Puck in the feet of Connor May. Stick to the far boards and played along by Tabone. Area feed looking for Ashwin Dina, but too far for him. Fought through and angled in by Mingrone. Mingrone, nobody there in support. Played it for Fleck, who stepped up, but stick gotten on it by Michael Wu. And now Tabone for Dina. Dina stubs his pass, and UCSB just lobs it back in behind Katz. Delbonis trying to retrieve. Tabone takes from behind his own net. Up the left wing, Tabone. Forced wide by Evelhoch, loses an edge. Evelhoch plays it forward, and the Gauchos ahead 2-on-2. Just be played behind the net by Mingrone. Touched along by Zoe. Fresh skater over the boards is Latham Moino. The pass can't connect with him.
And the Bruins are going to go back to full strength, and they're going to get a 35-second power play starting right now.
Second power play of the game for UCLA. They're 0 for 1. First one was cut short and sent the length of the sheet by UCSB.
Going to be one of those abbreviated type power plays, the ones that coaches kind of hate because they tend to ruin your power play or penalty kill percentage because of how short they are.
Carried in by Shaw. His pass across the slot. Intercepted to the line. And now the Gauchos carry out. They're back to even strength. Nice stick standing him up. PJ Smigliani. Iwasiuk plays it back, and the Gauchos trade the puck on their point men. Goldser looks to get around. Quite a sharp angle shot. It's in on Katz. Save made. Rebound. Shot up high over the top by Iwasiuk.
And the post is off behind the UCLA goaltender. It's like he tried to fix it real quick.
He did, and the puck comes to Goldser, who shoots, and Katz makes the save.
Katz shuts the 5-hole just in time. Goldser had that one lined up, and good read by the UCLA goaltender to recognize that that's where the shot was going. Showed it for a split second and then took it away.
Smigliani's lead pass is too far, but will roll in on Hahn, who will leave this back behind for Vieira. 8:15 to go here in the first period. Played behind the net by Iwasiuk for Goldser. Lobbed ahead, knocked down by Tabone. Tabone stood up at the blue line by Trenner for Iwasiuk. Lost the puck to Wu. Played back for Tabone, who will give for Zoe. Bodon lurking on Valois, but the pass goes wide. Carried up the far boards by Rupert. Rupert lost his stick, or took his stick in the midsection and just carried with him up the far boards. Tabone behind his own net.
It's kind of hard for someone of his stature to stop. It's like trying to stop a freight train on a dime.
Shot from the line, hit with a high stick down in front of the net by Austin Trenner. That was a great shot by Chris Cruz Holloway, sort of one of those seeing eye ones, and Trenner immediately after hatcheting that down, put his hands to his head. He knew that his stick was above the height of the crossbar.
Yeah, it wouldn't have counted, but boy, it did look like a pretty tip. I will tell you that. Takes a lot of skill and hand-eye coordination to actually bat that one down out of the air. Schrenner made that look easy.
Tabone wins the draw. So, Barone on the up pressure. Show walks through it. Still trying to deke and dance his way through. Barone having none of it. Gets away from two-man across the high slot. Gives it to the line. Seeing eye shot over the top by Rupert. Fleck activates to hold in for Barone. Barone. Backhand across the high slot. Again, a shot through traffic. This one hit Mingrone in front. Played around behind. Tabone to the line, and Rupert plays it back in. Mingrone in an offside position, and the officials will blow it as he stepped up and pressured Michael Wu.
Kind of hard to see that really from Mingrone's position, that the puck did come over the blue line by about 6 inches. Something to notice on that last shift, you can really see the puck possession proclivity of number 17, Tyler Barone, on that one. Barone just kind of dancing his way around in that offensive zone. Barone being a part of the roller hockey program here at UC Santa Barbara. You can kind of see some of those puck possession skills that are so important in the 4-on-4 wheels version of the game. Really on display here in the ice game as well.
Gauchos won the defensive zone draw, but the Bruins control. Slap shot, sticks to Hahn. Loaded and fired by Theo Habucha.
Good work by Hahn, staying focused enough. Hasn't seen a puck in quite some time, even through an extended stretch of the Gauchos, killing off some penalties and playing with reduced manpower. Gauchos have done well to control the majority of the puck here in the first period.
Pregame fans, but's able to get it out to center and sent back in by Smigliani. Played in an offside position by Baudin.
6 minutes and 5 seconds remaining here in the first period. UCSB showing no signs of slowing down from where they left off at the end of last year. Talking to Coach Ben Brecker beforehand, it was very much a week of celebration for this team, and I feel like that's very appropriately so.
Latham Moynos, seeing eye wrister, easily gobbled by Hahn, and he'll move it along. Pass doesn't get through Smigliani, who steps up to play it in, but he's turned down by Pregame. Played wide, Vieira. Pregame touches it back. The tip of the stick. And the Bruins able to angle it back into the right corner. Nice play by Evelhoch to move it along. Ahead for Pregame. He's got a break. Was looking. Top cheese blocker side and shot it wide. Ucha can't get it out. Second chance try for Smigliani, switching wings with it, finds Christian Tabone. Smigliani ahead and touched in by Baudin. Bruins will go for a forward change. Goldser dances towards the middle and cuts to the right wing. For Vieira, across the slot, through Strategos. Awasiak to the line, load, fire Valois. Hit the man in front. And Awasiak will angle it behind the net for Goldser. Goldser. Far boards Awasiak. Pregame looking for Goldser. Finds Awasiak, his shot, high and wide.
Great little skate to stick move from the freshman on that one to get that shot off.
Valois for Goldser. Dances through one man. Goldser shoots. Save made in the stand-up position by Katz. Don't see that much in 2018. Under fire, Michael Wu gets it to the line. Well held by Valois. Comes in front. Goldser, all kinds of time. Save made Katz. And he makes another. And Goldser backhands it wide.
Oh man, Goldser's going to be looking up to the rafters after that shift. He had a lot of time. More than I think he thought.
Slap shot by Habucha. Kicked wide by Hahn and the Gauchos. Quickly, reverse ice with it. Awasiak dropping it for Goldser. 3.5 minutes to go here in the first period. In a rather quick moving one, not a lot of whistles. Rupert through traffic, nice save by Katz. Caught the man in front of Awasiak, who seems no worse for wear. Valois retrieves in his own end. Rupert Angles it just past Show. And it's switched looking for Cruz Holloway. CCH off the outside of the net. Tabone tries to get it out. Far point. Fleck does well to withstand the pressure of Show, but on the second try, it's sent out by Michael Wu. Rupert. Tricky backhand pass. Too hot to handle for Fleck under pressure from Show. His backhander broken up by Trenner. Gauchos still can't get it out as Show continues the pressure. Show, high and wide. Held in. Show again. High backhander held by Hahn with 2:24 to go in period one. Still the only goals on the board off the sticks of Owasiak and Delbonis.
A little bit of a shortstop hop from goaltender Will Hahn to reach up, get that glove, and take that one out of the air, recognizing that his defense was a little bit helter-skelter at that point. Just taking some time, slowing it down, take the face off, get some fresh legs out there on the ice.
Face-off stalemated, but the Gauchos come away with it. Delbonis ahead. Nice burst of speed. And taken down. Delbonis. Sharp angle shot. And will the referee point to center ice here?
And we are.
It's going to be a penalty shot.
And it's Austin Trenner who's going to be getting it. Check that. So the second penalty shot of the year coming up for ice hockey at UCSB. If I'm not mistaken, is it Dimitri Strategos who's going to be taking this one? I believe that's who that is.
The official has sent Christian Tabone to the box.
So either way, that's a huge loss for UCLA. The Gauchos with a chance to get one late and make it 3-0.
The slow skate in. Goes to the backhand and Katz comes up with a big right pad save.
Great stop and just a good opportunity to keep that pad down along the ice. Just kicks the foot out and really seals away the bottom of the net. A little bit sluggish on the way in for Strategos on that one. Still a pretty good move going back to the backhand, but an even better stop from the UCLA goaltender, who's been busy here in this first period, but he's come up big when he's been called upon.
Delbonis on the draw.
So if I'm not mistaken, I believe that makes the Gauchos 1 for 2 on the year with penalty shots.
Here at Ice in Paradise,
Ice in Paradise, at least. Yeah, we don't know exactly what happened necessarily with the playoff games that we were not there for, but not counting the shootout, of course, as well.
Long pass off the back heel of Zoe, but able to find his man. The second try, held in at the line for a moment. Kick, skate to stick. Here comes Tyler Barone. Played it wide, looking for Strategos. Taken away by Smigliani. Slowly rolled in on Hahn. Hopped his pad. Gratefully wide. High glass and out by the Gauchos. Will not have enough speed to reach the red line for the icing. Curling almost like it was thrown by John Schuster.
I got your reference there.
Along the far boards, Matthew Baudin. Rims off the dasher. Lands near corner and played forward for Piagai. Man, he's had some chances so far this period. Will curl behind the net with it. Piagai waiting for traffic to develop. Drops it off instead at the point for Valois. Valois touched in front. Just not enough to get it on Katz. Off the stick of Vieira, who has it again. Vieira to the right corner. 35 seconds to go here in the first period as Vieira comes up with a steal. Angles it in front. Touched on by Piagai and played away by Katz. Smigliani will switch it for Habucha. Angled like a pool shot in on Hahn. Vieira, stretch feed. Maybe a chance for one in the dying moments. Owasiak takes a heavy hit from Show. Evelhoch keeps it alive. But the Gauchos are going to run out of grains of sand in the hourglass in the opening period. Goals by Chris Owasiak at 5:05 and Colin Delbonis at 5:41 have given the Gauchos the 2-0 advantage after one.
And it almost feels like ice hockey at UCSB could have 3, 4, 5 goals here through that first period. An excellent opening 20 for the good guys wearing their away uniforms here this evening. A good effort from UCLA as well. As we mentioned, it seems like everyone on that team can really skate. They can all shoot. Very talented squad. It's one you can't take lightly. So for UCSB, a good first 20 minutes. Now they need to follow it up with another good 20 here in the second period. Make sure they keep their foot on the gas. No doubt UCLA going to draw a little bit of momentum off that penalty shot save late in the first period.
And we should note that there's going to be no ice cut here between the first and second periods. Just a quick 2-minute break before we get back to period number 2 here.
That's going to help. It's going to help UCSB, really, not having that opportunity to really kind of reset mentally, go to the locker room, and really kind of make sure that the ice gets cleaned off and everything like that. But those sorts of things can really they can really slow a team down if you've been working really, really hard, kind of built up a lot of momentum. When the intermission comes up, how many times have we seen it in the NHL where a team comes out of intermission and it's almost like they're a different team? They're a lot more flat. The team that was behind the 8 ball got a chance to reset mentally and kind of pick it up again. So for UCSB, not really having that break in the middle there is really going to help them make sure they can keep the momentum rolling.
And another thing it'll do, too, is continue to test the legs of the 9-skater bench for UCLA. And Kyle, I'm curious, how many did those 9 skaters for UCLA manage to put on Hahn, as well as the Gauchos test Peter Katz in period number 1?
UCLA managed 7 shots, all of them coming at even strength. So for the Bruins, who had those power play opportunities in the period, did not get a single shot on the power play. So that's some good news for ice hockey at UCSB when you want to talk about the way they've been playing defense in this game. For the Gauchos, 18 shots on Katz. He only allowed 2, so 16 for 18 for him, with 3 of those shots coming from the short-handed variety. So talked a little bit about the penalty kill. It's maybe a little bit more effective offensively than the Bruins' power play has been thus far.
And this is a point where we should make note that Peter Katz is not normally a goalie for this UCLA side. Matter of fact, Katz, in 12 games played, scored 2 goals and dished 4 assists for UCLA. He's normally their emergency backup. He and Baudin deciding, with this being the last game of the year, let's switch it up. The goalie wants a chance to score goals for UCLA. He's wearing number 20, and he hit one off the crossbar in the first period. Now, Habucha plays it around to the near sideboards. Show dancing with it, trying to get to the high slot. Pass, backdoor, score! And there it is! Matthew Baudin! Almost as if spoken into existence. Bad broadcaster, it's 2-1 UCSB.
And we talked a little bit about how it should help the Gauchos not having that break in there. Here's exactly the opposite has happened. This gave UCLA an opportunity to sort of mentally reset, take a moment, really kind of get their heads in this game, and they find a little bit of a soft spot right in the middle of the slot for the Gaucho defense. And unfortunately for them, it winds up back behind Hahn, and just that quickly, a comfortable 2-0 lead. Starting to look a little bit tenuous here at the start of the second period. It's now 2-1.
Comfortable 2-goal lead. Kyle, 2-goal leads have never been comfortable since the trap got really minimized by calling hooking and holding.
Also, not really any time at all whatsoever in the ACHA. We've said before, no lead is safe here.
A 4-goal lead wasn't safe for the Gauchos against Santa Clara.
It was 5 at one point. It was 6-1 at one point.
Thankfully, hashtag it was 6-1 did not become a thing in the PCHA championship game. Vieira for Barone. Stick lifted, but Evelhoch. Heavy hit taken from Spigliani. His Bruin benchmates like that one. Evelhoch blows a tire, but able to swing it back in behind the net where Smigliani comes up with it.
He really seems to have his legs moving tonight, Michael Hurley, number 6 in blue.
Cruz Holloway had the intercept. It was picked back by Baudin and dumped into the Gaucho end. Vieira drops it there for Valois. Valois stretches for Piagai, who backhands for Mingrone, coming in up the left wing. Mingrone stood up, plays it far post. Piagai tied up there by Tabone. Knocked down, able to win the puck to the far boards. Back to the point, Vieira. It's returned. The shot through the slot.
Gauchos are going to get a power play out of this one. I believe Cruz Holloway draws that call.
As Bueno wins the puck battle, and a tripping call here. 1 minute and 55 seconds into the second period sends UCSB to their second power play of the game.
And Chris Cruz Holloway was battling in front of the net, trying to get possession of that puck, and he got hauled down. Still managed to get the pass off, sending it over to a teammate on the sideboards, but in getting hauled down, looks like number 10, Christian Tabone, going for the trip. It's his second minor penalty of the game.
Remember, he was the one guilty of giving up the penalty shot. Bruins, though, win the draw and force Hahn to handle it off for Valois. Valois, head of steam through neutral ice, carries it in. You've seen him go coast to coast for a goal once this season. Curls it back around behind, drops it off for Barone. Back to the line for Valois. Slapper hit the shin pads of Michael Wu, and Wu skates it through neutral ice. Stick lifted from behind by Barone. Gauchos back the other way. Vieira for Valois. Delbonis and Owaziak, the other forwards for the Gauchos, as Barone with it, far circle. Across the high slot. 2 men in front, looking for Delbonis. In his feet, but still controlled. Delbonis back to the point for Valois. 1 minute and 5 seconds have elapsed in the Gauchos' second power play of the game. Slap pass, looking for the tip from Delbonis, couldn't get on net, but got his own rebound. His shot stubs wide to the far boards for Barone. Relatively active box here on the penalty kill from UCLA. As Valois throws it in front, tap, once, twice, score! Delbonis does it again, and the Gaucho lead is back to 2.
And Delbonis just snuck down to the low slot right when there was just a little bit of daylight for him. A good heady play from the Gaucho forward, gets down. 2 blue shirts in back behind the white-shirted penalty killers. Not going to make goaltender Peter Katz all that happy on that penalty killing effort. Nonetheless, still a good presence of mind from the Gaucho freshman Delbonis to recognize that the space was there, and it took about 3 stabs at it to finally get it around that outstretched pillow of Katz, and Delbonis with his second goal of the night.
Gauchos lead it now 3-1 and are 1 for 2 on the power play as Brandon Scholl looking to get it back himself. Shoots it wide, short side. Great individual effort to get himself the chance. Barone will wheel with it back in his own zone. Out there with Goldser and Strategos. Stretch feed for Barone. Too far, and the Gauchos have iced the puck.
71-17, just kind of not linking up on that one. Seen a good amount of good stick handling from Barone here tonight. Barone playing an instrumental part in setting that last goal up. Just having the presence of mind to look up, recognize where the penalty killers were, and stick handle to a spot on the ice where he's going to draw a lot more attention before feeding that puck down low, allowing Delbonis to dig away at it, and the Gauchos got their 2-goal lead back.
Abucha plays it to the line. Shot through traffic, and Hahn gathers in the wrister from Smigliani.
That's what you like to see as a goaltending coach, seeing that puck stick to your goaltender's chest as though it were made out of Velcro. No rebound coming out from the Gaucho netminder.
And of course, we've made mention over the course of the season that Hahn has fashioned his goalie mask, much like Mike Richter of the New York Rangers. And remembering the '94 Rangers Stanley Cup championship team, one of the more tame stories that you could tell about how they treated the trophy upon winning it for the first time since 1914 was that Evelhoch used it to feed his racehorse.
That is possibly the least surprising thing I can think of him doing with it.
Shot from the line by Tabone, deflected behind the net. Habucha under fire and has it taken away by Fleck. Angled it forward but played back in. Habucha was in an offside position, so the Gauchos have time to re-rack and play it out. Owasiuk as a Bruin blew a tire in the neutral zone. 2-on-1, and he shot it up high and wide.
Did not hit the target he was aiming for.
Don't think he knew he had Trenner coming in support. Stretch fast, finds Habucha. 3-on-1 opportunity for the Bruins. Sent out in front and sent wide by Tabone.
Boy, he doesn't miss those very often. He had some daylight too.
Hammered back around the boards by Trenner. Bruins hold at the far boards. The shot hits Cruz Holloway. Leaves it for Owasiuk. Stretches it for Trenner. And the Gauchos ice it once more. 14:53 to go here in the second period.
A little bit of a mental lapse on that icing. I believe it was Trenner who was skating in down the left-hand wing. Owasiuk knew he was there, but just pretty much straight up missed him with a pass, and now a tired group of Gauchos stuck out there on the ice as we've been going end to end since the Gauchos took that 2-goal lead back.
Bueno on the draw. Sent to the near side boards from the line. The shot pilled away with a left one by Hahn. The second try, it's battled forward by Emmett Rupert. Across the slot, his shot from a sharp angle, sent back out in front and cleared back out. May resetting in his own end. Rupert touches for Delbonis. Now Trenner. Trenner dips the shoulder, tries to go wide on Zoe, not having it. Katz comes out in front and sent just wide. Tabone stretches it forward for Wu. Bueno plays it back in behind, and Hahn will stop it there for Connor May. Clearing pass, intercepted by So. Fakes the slapper, pass, backdoor, save made, Hahn, rebound, score! It's a great shot by Habucha that So going to the front of the net is there to bat home, and it's a 1-goal game again with 13:42 to go in the second.
And for a split second there, it looked as though UCLA had overpassed on that play and given up on the good shot, but nonetheless, it's a rebound off the pad of Hahn that finds its way back out for Show. All he has to do is just backhand it into what's essentially 3/4 of a wide open net. Gauchos not really covering the man in front on that one, getting a little bit guilty and a little bit too comfortable back up with that 2-goal lead. It's back down to 1, so they need a quick response here.
Forward from Taipei being justly rewarded for what's been a strong game from him so far.
You mentioned several Bruins in that conversation.
They've had to be to make it a 1-goal game at this point with just 9 skaters. Barone behind the net. Dancing, trying to do it all himself and giving the puck away to Habucha. Habucha in alone. Habucha, backhander. Hahn makes the save. Net is off its mooring. And we'll have a face-off to Hahn's right.
And a spectacular save from Hahn, that one was. Gauchos guilty with being a little bit too fancy on that play. UCLA seeming to wisen up a little bit to the puck handling proclivities of Tyler Barone. They get on him quickly and force that turnover, and it's just a really quick burst of speed from Habucha to get between the Gaucho defense and in on that breakaway. Hahn doing a spectacular job to stay with him.
Rupert tries to angle it out far boards. Instead, it's played back behind. Valois turned along, gets it back for Goldser. Goldser goes wide, throws it in front, backdoor score! What a pass from the captain, and the Gauchos have their 2-goal lead again, as I believe it's Owasiuk finishing his 2nd goal of the game.
And it's the freshmen that have the tallies, but we'd be remiss if we didn't mention the effort we've been seeing from the seniors here this evening. Justin Goldser and Dimitri Piagai have been just flying Goldzer finally getting himself on the score sheet with this one. Having a little bit of a rough year in terms of his offensive production, but definitely leading the team in many other ways. It's good to see him finally get 1 point up on the board here this evening, and it's just a picture-perfect pass to find Owasiak wide open on the far post.
Strategos shot. Katz loses his footing after making the save, but played away by Zoe. Goldzer had 2 of the 3 Gaucho goals at Pickwick Ice last year against these Bruins. Picks up his first point here tonight.
You have to think, with him being a native of the Los Angeles area, maybe this has a little bit of a special meaning to him.
Goldzer with Strategos. Owasiak arriving late. Owasiak shooting, save made, rebound, sitting there for Strategos. He swipes at it and gives it for Owasiak. Owasiak saucers it for Rupert. Rupert shot it into the feet of Smigliani, enables the clear out. And an elbowing penalty coming here on UCSB. I believe it's Rupert on the follow through, almost looking like The Rock after that shot went in, dropping a people's elbow down on Smigliani trying to get the puck.
Unfortunately for him, this is not Monday Night Raw, so he's going to be sitting down for another 2 minutes. Gauchos have been good on the penalty kill thus far, but again, this is not really something you want to get comfortable with. This Bruins team has shown that they can pass and move the puck well. They've got a couple goals behind Hahn here in this second period. Looking to kind of try to pull one back here. This is a really good opportunity.
Third power play of the game for the Bruins. They're 0 for 2. So, who has the most recent Bruins goal, plays it behind the net for Abucha, and he scores from behind the goal line.
He just banked it off Hahn's back and put it behind him. And just that quickly, we mentioned this Bruins power play with a good opportunity. They waste almost no time with it. Just 14 seconds into the power play, and the Bruins are back within 1. The teams have been trading goals here in this second period, and that is not really something that, if you're UCSB, you want to be doing.
Last 2 goals from the Bruins have involved both Abucha and So. Switch roles for the last of them. Pass across the slot by Evelhoch. Show does well to break it up. Bodan plays it wide for Abucha. Abucha under fire from Evelhoch. Tries to hand pass it forward. It's played out by Vieira. Then angled to the area near boards for Delbonis. Delbonis could feel he was in the tracks of Tabone. Played it away. Bodan gives it away to Piagai. He tried to backhand it in front. Good stick from Zoe. Played back behind by Piagai, and then shot out. Look out, Abucha. Just sort of hanging out deep for UCLA. As the Bruins bring a fresh skater on. Nice job at the line to win the puck back by Valois. Valois, area shot, save, score! Trenner tucks it home, and it's a 2-goal lead again for the Gauchos.
And Austin Trenner, like we've seen him do so many times this season, just down there making a nuisance of himself in front of the goaltender. This time he just has to spin around, gets the wraparound, and gets the puck just beyond that outstretched leg of Peter Katz. Once again, the Gauchos have been just grilling the Bruins on those rebounds that have been popping out, and this time it's another freshman who has had a major impact on this season, Austin Trenner, getting the goal.
Barone off the draw. Trenner going to the front of the net again. Barone can't get through 2 Bruins, so it's shot back in behind the net. Angled in front and played away. Swept along by Wu, and this will roll in on Hahn. For Rupert. Played forward. Nice backhander, finds Barone. In on Katz, save made, and he fights off the rebound. Still sitting there for Trenner. And it looks like we're going to have a crease violation here as Chris Cruz-Holloway is making life all kinds of difficult for Katz, and that's indeed what it is. The faceoff will come outside the zone exactly at the midway mark of the game. 10 minutes to go in period number 2.
It feels like this period's already taken a while considering how many goals the 2 teams have traded, but we got 10 more minutes of this still to go.
After 2 in the first frame, teams have combined for 5 here in the second.
First period felt like it flew by. The second one feels like it's taken quite a bit longer.
Fleck couldn't connect with Mingrone. Woino had it taken away on the back check by Awasiak. And now Rupert for Fleck. Mingrone moves it along for Awasiak. Drops it back. Across the slot. Lands for Mingrone. Shot, save made, rebound. Jammed at it. And Katz seals the far post.
Looks like a few sticks swung at that puck while it was quite a ways up in the air. But no high sticking being called, so this should stay all the way down next to Katz, and it appears it will. Fresh legs coming over the board for the white uniformed Bruins with blue and gold trim. Of course, every UC school using that same combination of blue, white, and gold as their school's colors. Make it a little hard to be color versus color for these two teams.
It is kind of interesting, though, that UCLA electing to not go with the Bruin shade of blue, if you will, the much lighter one.
Their home jerseys being a little bit more reminiscent of an old style of the Pittsburgh Penguins. It was the jersey we saw them use last year when the two teams met down at Pickwick Ice in Burbank, and that being a little bit of confusion as well as the Gauchos wearing the same sweaters then, so we had a sort of mid-tone royal blue versus kind of a dark navy blue.
Shaw doesn't care about Pantones, walks in, and Hahn shuts him down.
Down to 8:54 left here in the second period. Ice hockey at UCSB maybe a little bit guilty here in the second period, kind of starting to play the Bruins game. The Bruins are really okay with playing a run and gun, kind of trading chances. They'll take their opportunities when they can get them. Gauchos kind of guilty of letting them have those opportunities. Despite having a larger bench, they've been outskated in several instances in the second period.
Slap shot taken and held by Hahn off the stick of Habucha.
Hahn says, if every shot I see for the rest of this game is exactly like that one, I think I'll be okay. Type of shot as a goaltender where you really don't mind seeing that. Not a lot of traffic from a good distance out. Plenty of opportunity to get out on top of the crease, cut off the angle, make it a fairly routine save.
Gauchos win the defensive zone draw. Played along by Strategos, intercepted and sent back in by Smigliani. Hahn leaves it for May. Del Bonus. Wide for Goltzer. Give and go. Goltzer throws it in front just off the back heel of Strategos. Now here comes Shaw with Habucha. His pass off the skate of May. Back to the line, Smigliani tries to dance through. Strategos fights it forward, and the Gauchos have a 3-on-1. Strategos shoots it himself and scores! Katz caught playing the pass, beaten short side. Great strategy from Strategos to make it a 3-goal lead.
Strategos just wrong-footed the goaltender. It was just a very subtle little dip of the shoulder just to move that stick blade a little bit, and it caught Katz napping just a touch, leaning over towards playing that pass. Strategos showing everything as though he was going to make that pass, knowing that he had Del Bonus going right down the slot, yet he takes the shot himself and just slips it short side, and the Gauchos have their biggest lead of the game.
First time the Gauchos have led by 3. It's on Dimitri Strategos' goal. For Strategos, that's goal number 3 for him this season. Barone to the slot. Shot. Save made on Hurley.
Speaking of Gauchos who have had their opportunities here tonight, Michael Hurley's been everywhere.
Tried to put his defender in the blender. Instead, plays it wide for Woino. Back to the line for Smigliani. Woino off of Hurley's skates. Slaps it back to the left corner. Dina. Drawn to the boards, and Barone will curl around with it. Drops it back for Pregame. And gets it back. Has it swept away by Woino. Dina. Look out. Rings the bell of Valois. He shakes the cobwebs out. It appears no worse for wear.
That's why they make the helmets out of pretty good stuff these days.
Barone from the blue line. Pass off the glove of Pregame, and now a chance for a breakout, but Valois
Good presence of mind.
vacuums it up and plays for Rupert.
Valois just with that split-second recognition to see that that passing lane was there, gets over, cuts that pass off, and cuts off what would have been a sure breakaway for the Bruins.
6 minutes to go here, second period. And a giveaway to Awasiuk. Tried to angle it in front. Finally lands for Evelhoch. Slow roller across the slot. And a nice back check. Gets the puck. For a snapshot by Awasiuk. That's snapped up by Peter Katz.
And that scoring scoring opportunity, I should say, was started because of the back check of Chris Cruz Holloway, getting himself in position to go down and try to lift the stick, force the turnover, quick shot back the other direction, and it took a good glove save from Katz to make sure that one stayed out.
Long area feed. Too far for Theo Habucha, and the Bruins have iced the puck.
And we're starting to see a little bit the wear and tear of having a short bench and what that can do for your physical stamina as a team. The Bruins appear to be slowing down a little bit, kind of see with their body language. They're doubled over a little bit more, slowing down a little bit on their speed. Definitely still trying to push the puck when they can, but they're going to be looking to make the puck do a lot more work here down the stretch. As you can tell, their skating legs are starting to wear out a bit.
Long feed intercepted by Vieira. Good to see some of the roller players for the Gauchos able to play in the home finale. Vieira, Barone amongst them. Fleck played far boards. Across the slot for Vieira. Swung through by Cruz Holloway. Backhanded behind the net. Trenner saucers it. Opposite point for Vieira. Deflected by Scholl. Now Habucha is there cherry picking, but the Bruins couldn't get it to him. Awasiuk tries to walk it up the near boards, run into by Trenner, drops it off for him, and gets it back. Sidesteps the hit from Tabone. Christian was able to get the puck along and force the Gauchos to re-rack in their own end. Vieira pressured by Scholl. The Bruins continue to employ this too-high forecheck, and it creates the turnover. Tabone in front. Hahn got a stick on the pass in front looking for Habucha. I think that kept it from getting to the moment of truth. Cruz Holloway sidesteps a hit and shoots it in as the Gauchos go for the change.
Like a long shift for the blue-clad Gauchos out there. They'll be happy to get the fresh legs out.
Cho starts it out of his own end. Stops near boards. Avoids the May hit, plays it to the line for Tabone. Lands for Habucha. Hit off the puck by May. Couldn't kick it by him, but on the second try, lands for Scholl. Pass backdoor, deflected. What a save by Hahn, shutting down Latham Woino at the far post.
Oh,
Danger
boy.
still lurks.
That was just a matter of getting the skate there at exactly the right time.
Habucha thrown to the slot. Through the man. Zoe. Delbonis moved it along. Woino. Vieira doesn't have his stick. Tries to soccer it through him. Played across the front of the crease to no one in particular. Gauchos will play it back behind Hahn for Vieira. So comes behind the net to smoke out Vieira. Awasiuk gives it back to him. All right, Baby Bears, try that again. Angled in by Delbonis. shrugs off the Tabone hit to move it from Ingrown. Glassing out, and it lands for Valois. May backhands it up the near boards to Tabone. Just about 2 minutes to go here in period number 2. Slap shot, blocked in the slot by Valois. Pitchfork to the near boards and Ingrown lobs it along. Knuckling puck, knocked down by Delbonis. He's able to settle it and carry it in. Snaps a shot, save made. Rebound sits in the slot. Trying to dance through, Strategos takes a hip check, and the Bruins look to break out 3 abreast. Soul leading the charge. Can't get it through, and it's back out to neutral ice where Tabone will angle it in. It's gloved down by Valois. Ahead for Goldser. Captain wants one. Won't get it as Katz able to kick away and cover the shot from Goldser.
I feel like Goldser's going to say that I've had better shots in my career, and I'm inclined to agree. Didn't seem to get everything he wanted on that one, and also fell down while shooting it. So, yeah, we're going to say he's had better. A little bit of a post-whistle pleasantry also kind of got his attention. Trying to have a word with, I believe that was Habucha out there for UCLA. Bruins are short a player out on the ice.
Bueno will be the 5th man out.
Down to 1:24 left here in the second period.
Off the draw. High shot. Back to Valois. Slapper. Well, that one handled almost like Tommy Salo in the 2002 Olympics. Gratefully for Katz. Valois doesn't play for Belarus. Angled in on him there by Goldser, and he has it and holds.
Going with the old school Olympic references here. Of course, the Olympics winding down this weekend, and we're going to mention the reference you threw in earlier. A big congratulations to the U.S. men's curling team. The first curling medal in United States history.
And it's gold, no less.
And it's gold, no less.
Of course, we also made mention of Cooper Spears' Adams Cup winning shootout goal. It was backstopped by Lennon Karma, making like Kelly Rooney and shutting the door to seal it. Much like the U.S. women's hockey team, claiming their 2nd Olympic gold, first since Nagano in '98. Of course, congratulations to them as well.
What a game that was, too.
Always epic when the United States faces Canada.
If it was possible to buy a print of an animated GIF and put that up on your wall, I'd be buying one of that shootout winner from Jocelyn Lamoureux. Oh my goodness.
45 seconds to go here in the second period. Of course, the gold medal game for the men going on tonight. The Olympic athletes from Russia taking on Germany?
Of all teams, Germany. Interesting tournament lineup this year with the NHL choosing to take their absence. Really kind of an open field for anybody out there.
Played through the neutral zone by Ashwin Dina. Can't get it through Emmett Rupert. Owasiuk and the Gauchos looking perhaps for one final rush here. Bueno can't clear.
Delayed offside for the Gauchos, and it looks like the Bruins are going to be content just to take this exactly as it is to the locker room, although they're going to try.
Stretch feed for Habucha, muscled off it by Emmett Rupert. They come together as the clock clicks to 0.
How many times have we seen Emmett Rupert do that? It seems like every single game. Just tries to get it, has
if
a
not every
knack.
single period.
Just seems to have a knack for getting under the skin of an opponent. Being the big frame that he has, going up against the much smaller framed Habucha. Not afraid to play that physical style either.
And so UCSB, after 2, has seen their lead trimmed to 1 3 times in the middle frame. First goal of the period, scored by Matthew Baudin. To make it 2-1, the Gauchos responded with a power play goal, second of the game from Colin Delbonis. Brandon Shaw with the 3-2 goal for UCLA. For Chris Owaziak scored his second of the game to push it back to a 2-goal edge. Theo Habucha scored on a power play to cut it to 4-3, and then the Gauchos run off the final 2 of period 2, getting goals from Austin Trenner and then Dimitri Strategos to set us where we stand after 40, 6-3 on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network. We'll be back after this final game of the 2017-18 season for the Gauchos. Championship won at the home of champions, Ice in Paradise in Goleta. Back after this. Back on the ice hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network, Eric Evelhoch and Kyle Nicolas with you. Gauchos lead it 6-3 through 2. Special celebration night as the Gauchos currently lead the UCLA Bruins 6-3 as they celebrate having hardware and getting the opportunity to hang a championship banner here at Ice in Paradise, the home of champions, for the first time in the ACHA era, first time in the Ice in Paradise era as well. We'll remember that the Gauchos made it all the way to the NCHA California Cup Championship game in their first season before falling to Chapman College. But Kyle, certainly much happier times this season for UCSB, defeating a rival for a championship and celebrating it in style so far through 40 minutes.
Last weekend's playoffs were really a culmination of the effort that the team has put forth this season. Coming in, the coaching staff and really everyone involved with the team kind of figured this was going to be a growing year. They were going to be a talented team because they knew that there was a lot of talent on this roster, but no one really predicted that this Gaucho squad was going to have the success that it wound up having. And it took a little while to get there. Obviously, the season opening series against the team that the Gauchos wound up defeating to win the championship, Santa Clara, both of those games went the way of the Broncos. And both of those times, UCSB really struggled with their offensive production. For about the first 2 weeks of the season, the only players with any goals to their name were Austin Schrenner and Cooper Spears. It took a long time for anyone to finally get back up on, or it might not have been Cooper Spears, it might have been Chris Awasiak, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Regardless, Kyle, to your point, the first three results for UCSB, all of them were, or first two, I should say, were 6-2, 3-1 before a 4-1 victory over Cal Lutheran.
Or a 4-1 victory over Cal Lutheran here at the Ice in Paradise sheet. And really that seemed to be the turning point of the season for ice hockey UCSB to recognize that, you know, we faced a really tough, really organized, and veteran team in the Santa Clara Broncos who came back with a lot of returners, a very talented goaltender, and they played a defensive structure that was extremely well organized and really difficult to play against, especially for a young team where most of it was playing their first games on a college level. So for UCSB to then turn around from that point, really kind of started getting the sticks warm, heated up, and to come out and then just fly through the rest of the season in the way that they did. Yeah, sure, they had their hiccups along the way. Obviously, the road finale, I should say, of the year against California Lutheran down at Isoplex not being that great of a result for ice hockey at UCSB, and one that they would more than likely want to have back. Nonetheless, a lot of success to go with a lot of those growing efforts this season.
Yeah, for UCSB, anytime you win a championship, you're going to have those road bumps along the way. You're going to have those games, those moments that test you. I think of the road trip where they went up north and took on an established ACHA Division II side in San Jose State. And the Spartans, I mean, they're a team that has perpetually been competitive up north, and while the Gauchos gave them a good game, they still ended up getting defeated 4-1 in that contest. You mentioned the California Lutheran 9-5 really wake-up call going into the playoffs. Sometimes that's exactly what a team needs to get itself and get its head right and screwed on straight, so to speak, before it faces the best teams in its league en route to a title, as the Gauchos did in taking down, in order, Stanford, CLU in overtime, and then Santa Clara in a shootout.
And to have that, as we mentioned, that wake-up call against California Lutheran and then to face them a week later in the playoffs, really, I bet that game lived very fresh in the minds of the Gauchos. And now for the second time, the Gauchos defeated their Central Coast rival in the playoffs. Both times have come in the extra session, the first time coming in the first season of the Ice in Paradise era, where the California Cup playoffs, the Gauchos scoring the game-winning goal, I believe that was Cam Patterson.
Cam Patterson and Chris Awasiak have both been playoff heroes against the Knights.
Cam Patterson, trying to think of what was the name. I remember the Patterson part of it. Cam Patterson scoring that winner, as well as kicking off the comeback, getting that goal late to send the game to overtime as well.
You know, one of the things that we've given mention of some of the great stories that have come with winning a championship and some of the wacky stuff that comes along with winning a trophy, and it looks like we'll have two minors from the end of that second period going on at the 20-minute mark for both sides with
it's like Habucha
who else? Emmett Rupert and Theo Habucha for
the two who were getting into it late in that period, jostling as the horn sounded.
But Kyle, if you had a day with the Adams Cup, what would you do with it?
It's a really good question. I mean, if I were still a student at UCSB, I think obviously the thing to do is to take it into the local town of Isla Vista and celebrate with your fellow students. And I have a feeling that that is something that definitely did happen at some point over this week. I think appropriately so. It's been a long season for this ice hockey UCSB team, and it's a well-deserved trophy. Good opportunity to celebrate with the rest of the student body.
Gauchos, though, have 20 more minutes left in it, defending a 3-goal lead against the UCLA Bruins, a side who has been really cut down by injuries this year, saw themselves, the defending Pac-8 champions, knocked out in the opening round of the postseason by rival USC. And putting on a good show, though, here tonight through the first 40 minutes of play as the team skate for a side on the fresh sheet.
You can definitely see the amount of skill that this UCLA team has. Got a few more bodies in that lineup, and I think this would be a much different looking game.
Goldser wide for Awazia. Sticked away from him. Played out show, tried to get it through Awazia. He does. Won't get through Eric Valois. By the way, we should make note that thus far with the Road Blues, not exactly used to picking those numbers off of those as far as this season goes. Hold that thought as Awazia drops the puck off. It's intercepted and taken away by Tabone. Played behind the net. And Awazia able to take it away from Smigliani. Throws it in front, looking for Goldser. Check that. That is Strategos. And this is exactly the point I wanted to make. We've been mistaking number 18 and number 19 as the puck stubs wide from Brandon Scholl. Jackson Schutz, the junior out of Valencia, playing for the first time in the new year for ice hockey at UCSB. It was he who drew the penalty shot for the Gauchos late in the first period and has had a nice game for himself for the first time back in the Gaucho colors in 2018.
Yeah,
number 19, Jackson Schutz.
Been good to see the young junior who's from my neck of the woods down in the Valencia area coming out and earning himself a good opportunity. Just unfortunately didn't quite get the move he wanted to off that penalty shot, but nonetheless, he's had himself a pretty good effort here this evening.
Tried to find Bueno in the slot. It's intercepted and taken away at the line. The shot out in front. Hahn makes a great stretch save on Habucha, but Habucha gets the rebound, wraps it around, and wraps it in far post. 2-goal game again, 2 minutes and 32 seconds into the third.
And the Gauchos may be lulled to sleep a little bit here to start this third period. UCLA jumping out all over them. Hahn having to really commit in order to make that first save. Unfortunately, just didn't quite have the wherewithal to get back over and get back across to try to make the save on the wraparound attempt. A good job from Habucha to recognize that Hahn had committed a little bit too much into that first save. Not much the Gaucho goaltender could really do to get back across, but just use that speed to capitalize, get himself back on the board, and get the Bruins back within 2.
Second goal of the game for Habucha as Evelhoch steps through a heavy hit from Zoe. Shrugged off to Bone, but won't be able to get the puck as it's wedged away by Wu. P-Guy plays back for Rupert. And Valois now. P-Guy for Barone. Ahead. Evelhoch scores! Pretty draw to the forehand and finish. And there's a well-earned goal for Evelhoch, who's been buzzing all night.
And he's been begging for one as well. He's had so many opportunities, and finally he gets one to go his way after what looked like a pretty rough shift. Took several big hits along the far side boards. This time just gets the clever pass, and instead of going back to the backhand, where he's been trying to go most of the night. This time, he pulls it back over to the forehand and just gets wide open around Peter Katz, has half the net to shoot at, and finally up on the board for Evelhoch, the junior out of Livermore.
And now, Kyle, both Gauchos seniors in the scorebook. Goldser with a helper on the second goal of the game by Owasiuk. Pregame, the secondary helper on that one, Evelhoch's first of the game. And for Evelhoch, it is his fourth of the season, as the Gaucho lead is back to 3. Del Bonis behind the net for Trenner. Hassel Zoe intercepted at the line and hammered forward, but Zoe on the second try can't get it by Trenner or Valois. Valois pushes Habucha off the puck.
And Valois is going to take a penalty here.
If I hear correctly on the ambient mic, the official's saying both sides, both sides.
Gauchos would take that one, I believe, as Valois just got his gloves up high into the face of Habucha. And it does appear as though they will both be going.
Good bit of officiating, too, because Habucha has regularly been involved in the physical contact for UCLA that goes beyond the board. After all, it was he and Emmett Rupert who got into it at the end of the second period.
Has to feel like he just got out of the penalty box. He's going right back in.
Katz handles the shot from the neutral zone with ease. Smigliani behind his own net. Trying to use the head to direct his players. Pass can't connect with Shaw. Bruins have given away as Mingrone shoots it back in behind. Smigliani. Tabone for Dina. Wedged off it by Mingrone, plays it forward, slapped off the far boards, but Owasiuk wasn't able to give chase for it. Shaw curls in his own zone. Across the slot, stick checked off his. Smigliani for Shaw. Forward for Dina. Dina wristed in wide of Hahn. He'll paddle it for May. May. Mingrone. Slap shot deflects off the stick of Smigliani. Shaw sends it wide. Wu trying to work it out. And with the help of Tabone, they can work it through Barone. Shaw to the high slot. Looking back door. Good stick from Fleck. Barone. Boy, he's had his dancing skates on all night tonight.
You can tell he is definitely in some sort of a celebratory mood, and he's playing this game an awful lot as though he were playing, as we've mentioned earlier. He's part of the roller hockey program. Very much been looking like he's in roller hockey mode.
Snaps the wrister that's blockered away.
Of course, that season is still going. The WCRHL regional playoffs have got to be coming up in one of these upcoming weekends here.
Back to 5 aside. Either that or he's been watching a lot of figure skating.
Of course, that
Seeing a lot
finishing up fairly soon, too.
Seen a lot of Axels and Lutzes. And hopefully not a lot of toe picks. 13:45 to go here in the third period as it's shot back in offside by UCSB.
Interesting that the linesman chose to blow that one down with the Gauchos heading out to touch up on the blue line, and that was not a shot on goal either. It was well wide. Normally that conditions for the linesman to say, hey, go ahead, everyone tag up and allow play to continue, but not this time.
Gauchos control in the neutral zone. And Woino will pick the puck up in his own end. Plays it around. Goldser on the intercept. For Barone. For Goldser. These two have been playing together since the NCHA days, and we've seen that so many times. Goldser to Barone to the back of the net. 8-4.
It's Goldser, Barone, and Pregame. Arguably a line of the three veterans on this program, and they produce the tally. Goldser finding Barone in the slot. Barone just getting a little bit away from his coverage and nailing the top corner. What a great shot from the Gaucho forward. Looks like Pregame going to be taking a penalty here. I've seen that before. I believe this is probably going to come for a few extra words after that puck found the back of the net. So the Gauchos now, after taking a 4-goal lead, 8-4 here with 13:15 to go, they are now going to have to kill off another penalty. Bruins scoring on their last power play, really without too much hesitation.
So with Pregame sitting, the 6:45 mark, the Gauchos with their biggest lead of the game. Stretched wide for Baudin. He scored the first goal of the game for UCLA. What a feeling that had to be for him. Baudin, normally a goalie for UCLA. Again, as we mentioned earlier in the game, Peter Katz, the keeper tonight for the Bruins, is normally their emergency backup.
Have to say, though, Baudin has not looked out of place here. You know, you figure most goalies, you throw them out at one of the skater positions. Be a little bit awkward.
The line deflected, wide back behind, and looks like the Gauchos have taken another penalty here.
And this going to be, I believe this is going to be Eric Valois once again. Doesn't like the call. I think he's going to go for holding, though, as motioned by the officials.
So a two-man power play coming here.
It is a 4-goal lead, but with so much time still to go, 12:34 here in the third period, this could be a big moment in this contest for ice hockey at UCSB. Penalty kill has been good, but again, faltered on that last opportunity. And now a 5-on-3 for UCLA here. They can't clear the puck off a faceoff even though they want it.
On the second try, the Gauchos able to get it out. By the way, we've been making mention of the gold medals. Men's hockey gold medal game played tonight. Congratulations to the Olympic athletes from Russia. Das Wunder auf Eis. Es hat nicht. That would have been the German version of the Miracle on Ice. Just didn't happen. Although to get an Olympic silver for Deutschland, as it's in on Katz, the official will finally grant him the whistle. Rather remarkable.
Rather remarkable for Germany indeed. Germany being seemingly one of those teams that in the Olympics every year, but doesn't really ever seem to get much done in the way of really even making appearances beyond pretty much the first elimination round, although they have been further before. This time they're making it all the way to the gold medal matchup. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, since the days of the Soviet Union in East and West Germany, this, I believe, is their first Olympic medal.
You would be correct. 15 seconds remaining in 5-on-3. The backdoor pass, good stick by Rupert to break that up. They were looking to set up Baudin. Baudin calling for it. Instead, it's worked behind the net, and it'll be worked out by the Gauchos. Rupert calling his own number, taking it wide, shooting it off the outside of the net. The Gauchos have got one skater back and 35 more seconds to kill in the second minor.
Good work from Rupert to recognize that maybe that offensive chance has just disappeared a little bit. So instead, kill more time off, send it back to your man covering, kill a few more seconds off, and force the Bruins to go 200 feet. Down to just 18 seconds of this power play.
As Owasiuk does a nice job on the intercept, the Gauchos send it far boards. Show is tied up, but able to work it forward for Habucha. Across for Tabone.
Maybe
too high over the blocker.
Maybe a little too much time to line that one up and just put a little bit too much mustard on it.
Gauchos kill off the 5-on-3 as UCLA is now 1 for 5 with the man advantage in the game. Gaucho advantage on the scoreboard is 4 as we near the midway mark. The final period of the 2017-18 season for ice hockey at UCSB. Evelhoch curls around the net, dancing with it. Just waited way too long as Woino and Tabone compact him and come away with the puck.
3 white sweaters suddenly on top of him and just nowhere to go with it. Looks like he was trying to find a way to get it out front to Owasiuk, who was tapping his stick on the ice with a beaver tail. Just no route to get it out there.
Used to call that area the office when Wayne Gretzky was back there. Can not imagine anybody who would like to spend that much time at the office.
Boy, he was sure good there though, wasn't he?
He was never there that long.
Talk about the home of champions. We'll mention the city of champions in Edmonton. Gretzky making a lot of his living there alongside a very famous Finnish player by the name of Jari Kurri. Pregame
carries in. Nice stick save by Katz off the wrister by Goldser. The NCHA line out there for the Gauchos. Goldser, Pregame, and Barone. Goldser drops it for Dima. Tries to return it for him off the outside of the cage. Goldser comes up with it.
I would expect to see this line quite a bit more down the stretch as coaching staff want to get just a little bit more time for their seniors as a send-off.
Valois. Forward for Evelhoch. Check that was Connor May. Blasted blue uniforms. Not used to picking numbers off of them. Goldser ahead for Barone, feathered through. Habucha for Smigliani. Intercepted by May. Now Dimitri Strategos. Slingshots it back in behind the Bruin cage. Held in at the line by May. It deflected off of a Bruin stick just wide of Goldser. Goldser back to the line. May shot, deflects to Goldser, plays for Barone. In front, just missed the stick of Strategos, who was looking for his second of the game. Smigliani plays it through Strategos and Cruz Holloway. Ahead for Latham Woino. Drops it back. Hahn makes the save on the slapper, thrown in front, looking for Woino. Can't find him, and Cruz Holloway leading the charge. Sticked away by Dina. Nice job defensively by the forward from Houston. Now he moves the puck away from Barone. Held in by Rupert. Traffic in front, and Katz comes away with it through the trees with 7:10 to go in period 3.
And UCSB seeming as though they just kind of want to let this game run its course, doing an awful lot of playing in the UCLA end. Some good shifts of possession. Like they're trying to end this season on a high note, and they're well on their way to doing so.
Saw Katz between the second and third period refilling his water bottle. Boy, his face was as red as the Olympic athletes from Russia uniforms. Players that are used to playing forward.
I think they realize how hard it is to play goaltender sometimes.
But Katz has had a tremendous showing for himself tonight, making a couple of really good stops against a Gaucho offense that has done quite well for itself this season. Show pivots away from the pressure by Delbonis. Stretch pass too far for Baudon. And the Bruins have iced the puck.
And maybe a bit of a benefit there of a quick whistle from the linesman, as it looked like both Gaucho defenders were kind of just in cruise control mode. And Matthew Baudon had dug his skates in to kind of try to maybe beat those defenders back to it and earn himself a scoring chance, but the linesman more or less playing it like a no-touch icing and calling that one as soon as it crossed that red goal line.
Owasiuk on the draw. Lost it, but came away with it. Couldn't get the shot on net, but retrieves his own miss. Mingrone saucers it off the back of the cage. Curled around off the glass by Zoe, but held in by Rupert. Owaziuk looking for the hat trick. It hit the man so in front. Cats made the save and held for the whistle.
And Jackson shuts down there sniffing around.
Buzzing the tower, as it were.
Trying to see if a rebound popped out. One did. But again, a quick whistle from the officials. It was the backside referee who looked as though he had lost sight of it.
Owaziuk wins the draw. Vieira able to hold it in. Owaziuk behind the net, curls around with it. Waits for traffic, it develops, he can't get the shot through it. Shuts, sticked away from him. Wu can't get it through Vieira. Vieira shuts. And now Show comes away with it. Had a steam, great stick check at the blue line by Mingrone. Tried to walk through Owaziuk. Mingrone gets it back. And his back pass gets through Vieira. 5:15 to go, period 3. And behind the play, Rupert and Habucha.
Again.
Is anybody surprised? At this point, I don't think so.
Those two have tangled on multiple occasions so far here this evening, and I believe Habucha has goaded the Gaucho freshman defenseman into his third minor penalty of the game. Although he may have also taken what I believe is his third of his own. And yes, both of them are going to go.
I was about to say, with the way the officials blew that dead behind the play, almost had to be coincidental minors. So plenty of open ice now.
You kind of had the feeling, and we're almost feels as though we're playing 4-on-4 just as often as we're playing 5-on-5 here this evening.
Puck up into the Gaucho bench. So we'll do it again. Bueno getting a glove tap from one of the Gauchos on the bench.
I think that's Michael Herlihy. I will say for the Gauchos, it has felt like there's been a few lulls in this game, but the energy has been good for this team, and it's really easy to have the energy dip, especially in a game like this where it's not really for anything beyond pride. It's, as you've said, it's kind of a glorified exhibition game, but good to see the Gauchos keeping the energy in the building up.
Stretch pass for Barone. Stood up and shoved over by Smigliani.
And that was about as authoritative a hit as you can imagine. Smigliani having absolutely none of the dipsy doodles from Barone on that play.
Bueno's shot. Hahn mishandled, comes out, plays it forward with the glove. Barone. Smigliani again gets the best of him, this time with a stick check. Puck in the feet of Dina, can't find it. Barone again, into the zone. Curls wide. Works it in front, shoots it over the top. Gets it back. Plays wide. And it comes for Valois. Piagai looking for Barone. Tip back for Valois. Sent wide. May shoots wide. 30 seconds remaining in 4-on-4. 33 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the game as Piagai wraps it around and the senior scores on senior night.
And good for Dimitri Piagai to just recognize that Katz was just not quite paying attention to what was going on behind him. And he gives the celebration, he draws the bow back. Good on Dimitri Piagai. Get that big tally. You know, every time we talk to him before the game, he's always talking about how he wants to add to the scoring more and more. This season in particular, he's really stepped up that offensive production. You can tell he's been working hard on it. Obviously, he's been taking a lot of shifts as a forward here this evening, but nonetheless, good to see Dimitri Piagai get just one more over the goal line here.
Have him at a goal and an assist tonight. Could be more as we review the tape later. That would put him at 12 points in 10 games this season during regular season play. Zoe back in his own zone as the teams are back to even strength.
Be a little careful there as Emmett Rupert was trying to change over from the penalty box over to the bench.
And a giveaway at the line. The Gauchos, though, are offside as Trenner tries to walk in with it. And with 2:47 to go here in the third period, I think this is a good point, Kyle, for us to express our well wishes for this UCLA Bruins program for next season, to see them get back to the form of competing for a Pac-8 championship. Because really, it's nice to see a major championship in the UC system. Just so many injuries this year was not to be for the Bruins.
Yeah, had a real rough run of it towards the middle of the season, and they really haven't been able to recover since. As we mentioned, they really haven't played a whole lot since they were scheduled initially to play the Gauchos, which was about a month ago. Well, since that time, really, they've played just the one game, and that was in the Pac-8 playoffs, falling to their crosstown rival USC.
Nobody ever wants to see a private school win a championship. Come on.
There's a lot of USC fans out there who would disagree with you.
Surely none of them watching this broadcast is.
Probably not.
Now we've got Del Bonis and Habucha
mixing it up a little bit,
going at each other.
Habucha really showing that not afraid to really try to get under the skin of whoever he is playing against. And Del Bonis jousting at it a little bit, and it looks like Del Bonis going to be going off.
You know, at this point, I wonder for the officials, considering how much Habucha has been involved in off play or post play.
It's like they're trying to motion him into the penalty box. So
whether,
if I'm not mistaken, that's his fourth minor penalty since the start of the second period.
Official bringing him off the bench, and he'll spend the remaining 154 of the Gauchos 17-18 season in the penalty box.
Being ACHA rules, I am not sure if there's what they call like a game cap in terms of penalties, but I know some leagues you play in, you get some call it 12 minutes, some call it 10 minutes, whatever it is. If you get, so I've even seen it with as little as 8 minutes. If you get 8 minutes in penalties, you're done for the night. But I'm not sure if there's one of those rules here in the ACHA. But Habucha in the penalty box along with Del Bonis. And we're back to 4-on-4.
Scholl leads the Bruin charge, cranks and fires. Hahn the save, Vieira behind the net. He'll set up and wait. Speaking with assistant coach Ben Brecker before the game, he said that after tonight, that trophy is going to be kept for safekeeping in his hands. Players will not be able to keep it.
Probably for the best.
Lest something happen like what Phil Bourque did in 1991 with the Pittsburgh Penguins. He noticed a rattle with the Stanley Cup, took the bottom off of it, and saw that one of the people responsible for repairing the cup had actually etched a message and his name inside the Stanley Cup. So what would any good hockey player do, as we're under a minute to go, but decide to take that up as the shot is held by Katz. The sharp angle from Rupert. So Bourque decides in his infinite wisdom to scratch in, congratulations, Phil Bubba Bourque, 91. So of course before the Stanley Cup was refitted in, I believe it was the 2009 season, went from having the torch on the bottom to the Hockey Hall of Fame logo on the bottom. As Katz makes the save from the point, you could actually take the bottom off it, look inside, and see that message from Bubba. Good thing for Coach Brecker to keep the cup, so there is no message from Dima on the inside, or Goldie, or anybody else on the 2017-18 Gauchos, as Goldser's slapper, handled by Katz, and Bodon goes down in front of Katz.
Bodon maybe feeling the legs burning himself a little bit. Mentioned it is quite difficult to play goaltender, but when you're a goaltender used to doing that, stepping out and playing a skater position, as Goldser
scores off the draw.
Goldser gets himself on the board as well.
Of the seniors have scored.
And you can tell that one meant just a little bit more to Goldser. Comfortably out in front of the Gauchos, but Goldser as jazzed as anyone in the building to let that one go. And boy, what a wrister that was, too. What a way to cap off an excellent college career for ice hockey at UCSB for the captain and number 10, Justin Goldser. Coaching staff with both the seniors on the ice.
Final goal, his final minute in a Gaucho uniform. Piagai behind the net with it, throws it in front. Kick save by Katz on Goldser. Bruins play it to the near side boards. Out for Tabone. He'll carry in, try to go wide. And UCSB closes out the 2017-18 season with a victory over the UCLA Bruins, 10-4. A Adams Cup championship season closed out with their first victory over UCLA here tonight on ice in Paradise. And now my broadcast companion, Kyle Nicolas, has gone down to ice level where he'll surely interview the players of the game, which I'm hoping it's two as the sides go through the handshake line. Good performance all the way around for both sides. You saw good stretches from UCLA. Bodon, normally the goalie, scoring a goal. Katz, normally the forward, making a couple of great saves for the Bruins. But for UCSB, this game had a little bit of everything. It had Owasiuk and Delbonis scoring 2 goals apiece. And it had the 2 men at center ice put at least 2 points on the board tonight. The seniors, Dimitri Piagai and Justin Goldser, who are at center ice with Kyle Nicolas.
Thanks, Eric. Here with seniors Justin Goldser, Dimitri Piagai being intruded upon by Eric Valois. You guys both getting a goal on senior night, your last games in Gauchos uniforms. How are you guys feeling?
Relieved I finally got a goal.
Been a little bit of a wait for you as well, Demo.
I got a 5th year in me, buddy.
It's good news for ice hockey at UCSB. They'd be happy to have you back. And for you guys, obviously being such a big part of this team for so many years, do you guys really feel as though you left it all out there on the table? Are you proud of what you guys have done so far?
Honestly, just getting the Adams Cup was the cherry on top. I really enjoyed my few years here, and this program's got a lot of bright stars coming forward, and so I look forward to watching these guys moving forward.
And Demo, I guess I can ask this question for you. If you got a day with that Adams Cup, I don't think you guys are going to, but if you did, what would you be doing with it?
Can't say that on camera.
We'll get our days.
We'll get your days. Thank you very much, guys. Congratulations.
Kyle Nicolas, rinkside with our 2 Gaucho seniors, Dimitri Piagai and Justin Goldser, as the Gauchos put the cherry on a special season here at Ice in Paradise with a 10-4 victory over the UCLA Bruins. Let's run back the scoring summary for the game here on the Ice in Paradise post-game show. At this point, Gauchos took the lead 1-0, the 5:05 mark on a goal by Chris Owasiuk. Colin Delbonis made it 2-0. A matter of 36 seconds later at 5:41, it was 2-0 after 1. UCLA trimmed it to 2-1 just 29 seconds into the second period on the goal by Matthew Baudon. Del Bonis responded at the 3:24 mark to make it 3-1 on a power play. It was cut to 3-2 on Brandon Show's goal at 6:18. Less than a minute later, the Gauchos pushed the edge back out to 2 on the 4-2 goal. Second of the game off the stick of Chris Owasiuk. Then the Bruins took advantage of a power play with Theo Habucha scoring at the 8:21 mark. And the game-winning goal tonight scored for the Gauchos by Austin Trenner at 9:27 of the second period to make it 5-3. The Gauchos extended their edge to 6-3 on a goal by Dimitri Strategos, and that's where it would stand after 2 in the third period. UCLA got the first goal, second of the game scored by Habucha, but after that the Gauchos took control, responding just 34 seconds later on a goal by Michael Herlihy to push it ahead to 7-4. It extended to 8-4 on a goal by Tyler Barone, 9-4 on the goal by Dimitri Piagai at 16:36, and then Justin Goldser with just 27 seconds remaining in his ice hockey at UCSB career, closing it out with his second goal of the season to make it a 10-4 final here tonight at Ice in Paradise.
Have to imagine that last goal for Justin and for Demo at the same time. A little bit something special. I feel like it's going to be something that those guys are going to remember for a long time going forward. And I will say this as well. I appreciate Demo's honesty to that last question there as well.
There's that senior wisdom, I think, really shining through for number 91.
If that's what we're going to call it, sure.
Well, Kyle, on a season that has been so full of memories for ice hockey at UCSB, winning their first ACHA championship and taking home the Adams Cup, the PCHA championship trophy, this really, I think, was the perfect cherry on the top evening.
Yeah, you'd have to say that this really was the best possible way for ice hockey at UCSB to close out this season. Obviously being extremely successful and then closing it out with a big win over a team that's really kind of a burgeoning rivalry, something that's starting to develop, something that they can take away with them as they now head into what's going to be the end of their midterms, their finals for the winter, and then spring quarter as well, something that they can really hang on to and use to grow and mature as they go into next season as well. Obviously, a lot of questions still up in the air for what next season's going to look like, such is the case, I should say, for these student-athlete programs. You never really know what to expect coming in year after year, but I will say this, a fantastic way for this ice hockey at UCSB season to end. It's been a joy being along for the ride.
There's so many people that we need to thank as part of this. We've done this already before. The coaching staff, Coach Scott Hires, John Owasiuk, who came on in the mid part of the season, for Ben Brecker, who was here in the house tonight, also on the bench as well, who has been a big part and a big liaison for us with this program and keeping up with the day-to-day stuff. As a matter of fact, it was Coach Ben who kept you up to date as to what was going on in Lake Tahoe when the Gauchos were bringing home the trophy.
I was going to say, a big thanks to Coach Brecker for keeping me on the edge of my seat as that playoff journey was being undertaken by the Gauchos.
Of course, Susan Goodale, who is so responsible for bringing in much of the monetary support for not only this program, but for what Kyle and I, as well as Jesse and Jasmine do. The only reason that we've been able to continue to grow from audio-only broadcasts in the first year here at Ice in Paradise, the NCHA season, to beginning to stream video last year and now bringing in even more goodies this season, it's because of the support that Susan is able to bring and because of the support of viewers like you and fans of ice hockey at UCSB that we're continued to be able to do this. So thank you to Susan, and thank you to you, the viewers, and you, the donors and contributors to this program.
Yeah, it's been an absolutely wonderful privilege to be able to bring these games to you at home through the various media over the years. We're glad that we've been able to grow along with this program. I know I personally, and I'm pretty sure I can speak for Eric when I say we're extremely excited to see where this is going to go in the future. It was a great year for the team on the ice. It was a great year for those of us off the ice as well, and we're hoping to once again next season continue to take things to the next level and to bring you this action here from Ice in Paradise in Goleta.
Big thanks you as well to Larry Briere, the manager, as well as the entire staff here at Ice in Paradise for being so supportive of what we've been doing since the beginning here with the Ice Hockey at UCSB program and all that they have done in helping to support ice hockey at UCSB. You know, I remember as the years have gone along, we've seen various different Gaucho players also holding down jobs here as they worked as students.
Cooper Spears does right now.
And, of course, Spears, who scored the shootout winning goal, unable to play tonight due to a respiratory infection. But he was here as part of the pregame ceremony. But big thank you to Larry and staff. And, Larry, it's okay if you take the branding of Ice in Paradise as the home of champions. I don't need any compensation for it. Just slap that moniker on this rink. It has earned it so far with the play of the Santa Barbara Royals and this Ice Hockey at UCSB program.
Like we mentioned, this Santa Barbara Royals group that now plays for Ice Hockey at UCSB, man, they really don't seem to know how to lose. They just seem to find a way to come out on top. Doesn't matter what sort of trophy they're playing for, they find a way to get there. And now they've got another one to put under their belt on the college level.
And, of course, I think the other major thank yous that we have to give here are for our student interns. And, Kyle, I want to throw a bit of a curveball here. Jesse, Jasmine, do you guys want to appear on a broadcast here? Do you want to say?
As they're sitting right next to us.
Yeah, we've got – I mean, we've got the mic that you interviewed the players with here. And, you know, Jesse, this is your second year as part of this program. And I've got to say, dude, that – without you and without what you've done as far as, you know, learning how to shoot hockey and presenting this as professionally as you do, we would not come off as well as we do without the job that you do in shooting at center ice. So thank you very much for what you've done as part of this program here for now in your second year.
I really do appreciate that, Eric. I got to admit, it is a curveball, having the mic in my hand. Not the biggest.
A little bit different, isn't it?
It is much different than just having the headset on and keeping your mouth shut the whole time. And, you know, I was a little bit stumped when you said let's bring the crew onto the mic. But I have to say, thank you so much. Thank you for bringing me this opportunity. Thank you for inviting me back next year. And thank you for being my family in this ice hockey experience at UCSB. It's been incredible, and I couldn't ask for a better internship while I go through my schooling.
Is there any particular moment that really stands out for you in your 2 years as part of the program here?
Ooh, maybe I think in the first year was getting the last goal of the season, just like that. Remember that? It was a tiebreaker?
Yes.
In overtime?
Yeah, the overtime winner against Cal Lutheran.
That overtime winner, once it happened, I ran over here to talk to Lena to make sure that I got it on film, and she was like, "Dude, I promise you, you captured it perfectly." And
Gauchos definitely have a thing for overtime over Cal Lutheran, do they not?
But in terms of that, I've never woken up in the morning on a game day and been like, "Oh, I have to go to the ice rink today." It's always been, "Let's go, let's go. It's game day. Let's shoot. Let's have some fun. Let's see what the team does. They're exciting to watch." And standing behind the camera, for 60 minutes of gameplay has never been, a drag to me or, a pain to me. It's always been pleasurable. It's always been fun. And I can't wait to see how far I can take it in my career.
And it's been awesome to have you as part of it, Jesse. And just so you know, I have to admit this. I went back on that Cal Lutheran broadcast.
Yeah.
I blew it up full screen, and I definitely screenshotted the celebration with everybody out there and used that as my background on my computer for several months.
Yes.
That was a good shot.
The one with, was it the one where you were talking to Nora after and all the crew came up and cheered her? Or was that
was a different one,
Am I
I
mistaken?
That was a different one, but yeah, it
was
just one of many fantastic shots that you've given the program over the course of 2
This
seasons.
is one you had to bookmark and keep in the books for a while to see.
Oh,
And
yeah,
thanks to you, it's online, and you can go back and watch it whenever we want to on the team's YouTube page.
And that'll definitely be a highlight that I use for my video reel when I send in my resume to ESPN and Fox Sports and
As you
all
should.
the other ones that I'm
Any executives out there listening, you've got a gem on your hands. So, Jesse, before we go, are there anyone out there you want to give a shout out to, say thank you to yourself? You know, you've been such an important part for us. Is there anyone who's been supporting you through this?
Thank you. Well, first of all, thank you guys more than anything, again, for this opportunity. And like I said, I'm more than thankful to be coming back next year, and it was an amazing experience. And I just have to thank my mom and dad. Like I have more love for my family than anyone else, you know, in this world. And my mom actually, I texted her saying there's one more game tonight at 10 o'clock. I doubt you're going to watch it, but go ahead. But, you know, give some support if you can. And she ended up watching the game.
There you go.
Staying up throughout the majority of the game to see me shoot it. So there's no love like, you know, the love from your true blood family. And I want to thank them and thank you guys for being part of that.
Well, it's been a pleasure, I can say, from being the one who's been irresponsible and in charge of the interns. It's been a pleasure having you on board since our first season of starting the video broadcast as well. We could not have done this without you. And giving the microphone over to the rookie on board this season, Jasmine Kellogg. Jasmine, you came to us in the more or less the start of the school year, and out of just pure curiosity of finding out if there was anything you could do for the team. And at that point, we weren't really sure what we were going to do for a technical director, and more or less your email just came into my box, and it was just like as though like a spotlight came down and Angel started singing of like, here's your solution right here on a silver platter that just walked through the door. You've come in and you've done so much for us and learned so many things that you didn't necessarily know on the fly. And I know personally, I'm extremely thankful for that because like with Jesse, we would not be able to make this happen without the effort you put in every single game for showing up, helping set up, learning what you've needed to learn, and also the edge you've given us in being able to give so many extra statistics during broadcasts, notably with the shots on goal. We've never had that before. That was just killer to have this season. And so personally, from me personally, thank you very much for everything you've done. It's been amazing to have you on board this year. And we're extremely, extremely thankful for everything that you've been able to do for us and the way that you've really kind of expanded the position to things that it's never really done before itself. So thank you for that as well.
Yeah, of course. This has been such an experience. I came into the school year kind of looking for something that I could do with the hockey team because I knew about it last year, but I never really got involved. And my dad was actually the one who said hey, you should email them and see if they need any help or whatever. And I was like, I don't think they're gonna want to bring me on board. So I did it, and I am so grateful that I did because this has been such an incredible experience, and I'm so thankful that I get to come back next year. These game days are the best weekends for me. I would go home last weekend, I would go home a lot last year, on the weekends, but I'm glad to stay here this year because coming to the rink is so much fun for me, and I don't even care that it's so late because it's just such a blast, and I love it. I love every game. I was actually telling my dad this morning that I was so sad that it was the last game of the season because this is just one of my favorite things. It's been a highlight of my college career thus far. And I want to thank you guys so much for letting me come and bringing me back next year. This is so much fun for me, and I love it, so thank you.
We'll be more than happy to have you back as well.
Oh, certainly. And Jasmine, I'm just curious because, we talked about how Jesse learned to shoot hockey over the course of his time here. What are some of the things that you've learned through your first year here with the Gaucho hockey program?
I've learned a lot about what goes on behind the scenes. Obviously, this is a lot different than an actual NHL game, but I came into this with no knowledge, no experience, nothing. And I've learned what goes into all these broadcasts and really what goes into behind the scenes, how much work it is. And I have a big respect for people who do this in the actual NHL because it's hard work, and I can tell Jesse works so hard on the cameras every game. And I've just learned a lot about the behind the scenes work because we don't see it as fans. So it's been really interesting to learn about it.
Do you have a favorite moment from this season?
The first game was a lot of fun because it was a huge, I think it was a standing room only crowd, if I remember
The
that
7 o'clock
correctly.
face-off against
That was awesome.
against Santa Clara, and you were right. It was
That was
standing room
crazy.
only and
Tortillas on the ice.
tortillas on the ice and cram into a spot against the brown guard railing if you could find one. You get a game or two like that out here at Ice in Paradise every single season. I wish it was a little more often than there is, but boy, those really do wind up becoming the highlight games, and I can see what you mean by that.
Yeah, that was a fun one, and that overtime game, I forgot who they played, but it was, I think Cooper scored the overtime winner.
I believe
which
that
game
was,
that was.
I believe that was Cal State Fullerton, if I'm
Yeah, I
not
think you're
mistaken.
right.
I believe
I
it
think
was
right.
the first game against the Fullerton Titans.
Yeah, that was a really fun one because it was just so exhilarating. And then I remember, like, it went wild when he scored the overtime winner, and yeah, that was just a lot of fun. That was a good moment.
What are you most looking forward to about coming back next year?
Well, you guys said there's new equipment, so I'm excited about that. And
We're hoping.
We're hoping. We're working toward it right now. We're not 100% sure what we're going to wind up getting, but we're definitely hoping.
I'm just looking forward to seeing this like program expand because I know you guys have it's pretty relatively new, and it's just exciting to see it grow more. And I'm here for another 2 years, so I'm excited to see what they can do in the next few years.
This being our second season of having the video broadcast, so definitely some room to expand as well, and we're happy you're going to be a part of it in the future as well. It'd be really nice not having to train a technical director again next year, let alone one that's already become very adept at her job. So, Jasmine, I know me personally saying thank you very much for what you've done.
Yes,
Yeah, of course.
thank you. And the stats, seriously,
Killer.
the stats make the difference. Nobody else in the ACHA has it as well as we do. I mean, Kyle, the shots are even broken down into power play and shorthanded shots.
Makes our lives a heck of a lot easier, I'll tell you that.
Jasmine, like with Jesse, the final thing would be, do you have, or who do you want to give a shout out to? Any other thanks that you'd like to hand out?
My family, my mom, my dad, my older sister Brittany, they have been supporting me from the start. And I also want to give a shout out to my cousin Skylar. He is a huge Ducks fan. And when I
Smart
told him
man.
that I got this gig,
Raised him right.
I think he was more excited than I was. And I know that he's been excited to watch me pursue something like this. And yeah, they've been supportive throughout all of this, and I'm really grateful for that.
Well, Jasmine Kellogg, you and Jesse Gutierrez have been such huge parts of this program. Everybody who's watched the stream has not seen the two of you, but they have felt the impact that you've had on this program. And for Kyle, from me, from the bottom of our hockey-loving hearts, thank you to the both of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Just the biggest thank you we can possibly give. As I've said, this whole operation would not happen were it not for the two of you guys and the dedicated work you guys put in. Every time we have one of these games, whether it's a late night, showing up for an 11 a.m. game on a Sunday morning when I'm sure getting out of bed that early is like the last thing you guys want to do at that point. You guys have come out here. You've done absolutely everything. You've learned things on the fly. Could not ask for a better production team. It's been just an absolute pleasure working with you guys this season. So thank you. Thank you guys very, very much.
Kyle, I got to thank you too, buddy. For this being our third year doing this, as mentioned, we started out audio only, where it was my expertise that kind of carried the show. You have been the one who has taken the bull by the proverbial horns, so to speak, and figured out a lot of the back-end technical stuff to make the video broadcasts work, be it the streaming to YouTube being the way to figure out how to make it go also to Facebook Live this year as well, and also been just such an incredible support, not only as talent on the broadcasts, but you're the only reason that I have this job. You were the one that responded to a posting that was put out on, I believe it was the Film and Media listserv, saying that they needed somebody looking for broadcast. And with you being the actual UCSB graduate, me just being the guy who's done public address for baseball for now 3 seasons, and now in my 2nd season calling play-by-play for the women's basketball team for ICA. You're the reason why my foot got in the door here, and I cannot thank you enough for the opportunity that it's given me, the opportunity that it's given us to represent a tremendous institution and tell the story of some tremendous student athletes each season that have gone out and represented the institution academically and athletically with such splendor and in true Gaucho fashion.
It's been a pleasure being able to do this, and also a big thank you to you yourself. Coming into this gig, I had never really done broadcasting before. I had done like some behind the scenes work. I had done some sort of like live broadcasting. I'd never really done actual on-air talent work before.
We'd podcasted,
but again, even that's a little bit on the different side.
Yeah.
It's a different animal coming out here and calling hockey play-by-play. You have to really focus on a lot of things, and a lot of what you've taught me and watching you and learning by example has really taught me a whole lot in terms of not only how to increase our production value and make us better as a team, but also to improve my own personal skills, microphone speech. And while I still struggle at certain points and still want to improve and get better and learn, I feel like I have a very good mentor in you, and the way you've taught me all these things. It's been great working with you, and I'm really excited with the way that things have gone thus far, and it's always going to excite me to see where things are going to go in the future as well. So big thank you to you, big thank you to all the work you've put in, also for a lot of the stuff that's gone up on the website, keeping track of the team's stats over the season. You've done a very diligent job with that and keeping everything there updated, being able to continually contribute to the content that we're putting up on that website, which for those of you at home who are not necessarily the greatest fans of the website, I've heard from several people that they'd like to do something a little different. You're going to see that this summer. We're already in the process of trying to develop a new website for the team. So coming up next year, hopefully, whether it's finding a game broadcast, finding the audio-only archive, or getting stats, getting player bios, things along those lines, hopefully will all be much easier next season when we finally have our new platform up and running. You've done a lot to contribute to that, so made my job easier in that regard as well. Big thank you to you as well for doing that.
The Ice Hockey at UCSB program works because of the people, be it Kyle, be it Jesse, be it Jasmine, be it Coach Hires, be it Coach Brecker, Coach Owasiuk, be it
yourself,
Larry, be it
yourself,
be it Susan.
You've had something to do with this too.
Be it the parents, be it the fans, be it the players. This program is special because it is the Gaucho hockey family, and we've got our first cup this year.
We got a trophy. And we should ask if we can get rings with that too. That'd be cool.
That has a nice ring to it, doesn't it, Kyle?
That joke was terrible.
Just like the 10-4 final here tonight as the Gauchos close out the 2017-18 season with a victory over the UCLA Bruins. For the final time this season, the Gauchos close out their title campaign here with a win, and they do so in style against a UC rival. For Kyle Nicolas, I'm Eric Evelhoch, your final from the home of champions, Ice in Paradise. Gauchos 10, Bruins 4. Thanks for listening, and good night from Goleta.